Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Commodity Futures Report for Wednesday, August the 24th, starting with the bonds. So we're clearly breaking above the 3% here, so it really helps solidify that this wave 4 can be in place, but we know wave 4 can get pretty ugly, so we may end up with an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here just yet for this, but as I mentioned before, this is such a strong count as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we're definitely be heading up to the 4% and then after that to the 5% for this market. The shorter yield curves will be probably trading a little bit higher as well. I don't know the spreads, but I know the Australian 2-year bond is government bond is a bit higher than this. So, but yeah, look, there's a trend to the upside. Alrighty, over to the currency. So the US dollar index here. So from this wave 4, we've got wave 1 and 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave, and the fourth wave here, and we're going up for the fifth wave. What I don't know is that, do we have a short fifth wave here? Stopping at 11,000. The market's going to spend time at the 11,000 anyway. All we need to do is just to wait and see if we get this pattern across the 11,000, the classic trading levels pattern, and then we'll be going up again from that point. So this whole leg that we're looking at here could just be wave 1 and then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So I don't know that just yet, but we will sort that out when we, not when we first arrive, of course, but give it a little bit of time, and we'll be able to figure that out. But in the meantime, this particular move from here to here, we're coming into the, well, we've hit the old highs here by the looks of it, and it's sort of kicked back a little bit. So let's go to our 2K zone here and look at that for a moment. Look at that trend to the upside, at least to the 11,000 here. So yeah, so over here I'm looking, so this is the old top here at 10,900, and we're looking at it as wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I don't know where my 4's gone. There it is. Need to update this a little bit. Maybe I was on the 100 ticks. That's a bit weird. Anyway, I must be working on a smaller time frame somewhere, but anyway, yeah, so we're looking for, look, this wave 4 may get more complicated as well here, you know, but let's just check on, let's just check from here to here. It's right on the 38.2% retracement level, so it's okay there, but still it could travel sideways a little bit, you know. So we could probably expect this to come up to this area through here. Oh, still going to, and then we'll come back here somewhere, and then we'll get this. Oh, everything's looking good, and then we'll get the ABC pattern here. So let me just fill in the dots here a little bit. I mean, it's, when I do this, it's pretty rough and ready, so don't pay too much attention to the accuracy of drawing something like that. But what it does do, it gives us the opportunity to put that wave 5 in the top there, and that could be the top of the market. But it may not, you see, that's the whole thing. So what it may be is it may be just wave 1 here, and then coming back for wave 2, which I think is a real possibility. I feel kind of okay about that. I mean, while those government yields are going up, you know, that's attracting US dollars. Not that I know a lot about that sort of stuff, but I don't see any reason for this trend to stop. So, but anyway, we'll sort this out when we get here. But, you know, if you want to trade up, that's, you know, all good. And then it gets a bit volatile across the top here. And this is a classic trading levels pattern, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC pattern, and then we go up again from that point. So it's a good little pattern to know, the arrival, the reaction. It's the most common pattern. And then the second most common pattern is this one where it doesn't drop below the level, kind of steps up. And the third one that we don't see a lot of is that it doesn't stop at the level, goes up, but the distance it goes up will come back below the level and then go up again. Is that creepy dude? So Yeah, so that's that. But also today I want to have a quick look at the pound. So we've got a double bottom here. Double tops are never the end of the trend, and nor is a double bottom. So we're going to be coming through here. But once again, we don't know, once we've got that I haven't pulled this one apart, but once we've got that 5 waves, is that going to be the low, or is that just going to be wave 1 here, and then we go down for 2, 3, 4, and 5 at this point, you know? I mean, it's normally when I'm working with price, I can see this 1.1 here, and then 1.2 and 1.3. So to me, that's all minor group 1 of this 1 here, of parity here. So normally what I find is if the number 2 becomes the retested resistance, the market's pulled down to this number. That's just the norm, you know, but we'll see. You know, we'll see if it finds that as resistance first, and we need to do some work. And this will be the same for the euro as well. So with the euro, we're just going steady with wave 4 here, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. It's not a very good 2, is it? And then down for 3, 4, and 5. So the spike in the US dollar has the pullback in the US dollar rather, has created this count, this pattern here. It's created it in other currencies as well. It's also created it in gold as well. Just want to check, it looks about right, but yeah, 38.2, so that's all good. So it could get more. Wave 4s are tricky, slippery little suckers. They can get more complicated there, but all in all, I mean, we could be done and dusted here, I think, but obviously, you know, the pound hasn't made a new low. The DXY is at double top, so because I mean you could count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here and be done with it, you know. So we may even have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here as no, we don't have that as wave 1 here, going back for wave 2 up here a bit higher and then down. It'll stick around this number here and then drop. So anyway, that's where that is. But yeah, this little pattern here, you'll see that in other markets, then you know it's affected by the US dollar. Okay, to the gold. So GDX here, I don't have 5 waves up here on this daily chart for GDX, so we're looking at it as an ABC for wave 4, and then down for 1 and back for 2, and then we'll look down for 3, 4, 5. So we could look at silver and gold, US spot gold, in the same way, and we will. Okay, so that's that, and it'll be the same for when you're looking at stocks. I mean, I normally look at Newcrest Mining because I'm in Australia, but Barrick's here, that I've got this as a little ABC here, so this is probably down for 1 and back for 2, so you could short it under this low here because we still need this to finish off down here. Okay, so anyway, that's GDX. So when we come and have a look at gold, we've been counting this up here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. I didn't like that particular top, but so I've been working with both tops because I could look at this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 ABC for 4, and then up for 5 here, sort of finishing off. Or should we use that spike? It's all a little bit iffy, but so you can see that this little pattern here is the same as US spot gold. Sorry, it's the same as the US dollar in reverse, so it's definitely affected by that, and has bounced off the 61.8%. But the trick is, do we take it from this top or do we take it from this top? I could take it from here and go an A and a B wave here, and then look at a C wave down here, and we're done and dusted, and we go straight up from that point. But as I just mentioned with gold, with Barrick Gold and GDX, and that is that we can count this down here as 1 and 2 from that point of view, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So 5 of 1 here and going back for 2 here. So an A, B, C going back for wave 2 here, and then going down again. So if I was going to go long in gold, I would want to be on top here somewhere. You can get a small position here if you wanted to, based on that you're at the 61.8% mark here. But to be to be safe, you want group 2 here, 65, 1765, 1772, and 8. You want that area there as the support. Then you can get a position here, and then you can just build in all through group 1 here, 1, 10, 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 30, build in that way. So yeah, I'd just be a little bit careful about this at the moment. It's not a clear top, and yeah, I can see that you can configure this differently based on whichever high. I mean, because when you really look at this here, it's just one little spike, you know. So what about if that was supposed to be the high here? So where we go 1, 2, 3, 4 to here, and then 5 to here. So that should have been the top. Then we've got this ABC here, and then up here. And then that makes the high, you know. So anyway, I just think we need to be a little bit cautious here, because I don't know if we need to see this. I mean, they're kind of all moving, you know, all the gold things are moving, the precious metals are moving in a particular way. So yeah, you know, if I see 5 waves in GDX going up here, well then, you know, then we could, you know, and stocks, well, GDX is just stocks anyway, but moving average of those, but yeah, we're not seeing. I just think be careful here at this point. So yeah, so depending on how I count that top there, we could even have another low coming in here first, because that could also be a wave 4 there, and that's pulled back 38.2% as well. So from this high, I'd imagine, let me just double check. Close enough, pretty close. Anyway, I just think we'll give it another session here. I can see what needs to be done with the currencies now, but I'm not sure, still not quite sure about this one. And silver will be the same as well. So this move down here, I could look at that as wave 1 and back for wave 2, and then come further down at this point. So we just need to be a bit careful here. I mean, obviously the long trade is above the high here, or back on support on 2000, sorry, $20. This is a CFD product, contracts of difference. So yeah, a classic trading levels pattern back on here, and yeah, because we could look at this as corrective as well, as I mentioned before, the A wave to here, the B wave to here, then an A, and then, sorry, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here. So it's possible. So I just think if we're back on the level next time around, by all means we'll go long, and then we'll be going long for quite some time. But like, the thing is that US dollar is not got a top in just yet, and it may continue to trend to the upside, you know, so it's just continue to put pressure on this. And yeah, I think it's always important too, you know, if you want safer trades, then always find the closest largest number and ask yourself, is that support or resistance? And obviously at the moment it's not resistance, because it hasn't gone back and checked it and then made a new low below here, so it's not resistance yet, but it's also not support as well. So just leave it, you know, until you've got something that you can sort of trust. Okay, so copper, it's looking quite sort of positive. I'm just waiting to see. So we're looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 as 1, and then, I mean, I can wrap the A, B and C in here and put wave 2 over here, as I mentioned before, but it hasn't really pulled back very far. Not that it has to, it could just extend to the upside further. So I just wanted to see, I mean, it could also be the B wave here. I know I've had the B wave here as well, but an A wave to here, and then an A, B, C here, and then the C wave. I want to see if it sits in group 2. It's really quite important to me, because I know that stocks, or any market, that this is minor group 2 or subgroup 2 here, so 60 minor group 2, sorry, so from 36,500 and then the 72 and the 80, if it can actually sit in here, gain support and hold on into group 2 here, then I'll know it's bullish, and then we can move into it at that point. But as it stands at the moment, I think that there's a possibility of a drop here before moving up higher here. Now this has moved up like gold and silver and so on, but it also hasn't pulled back like gold and silver did either, has it? So obviously there's some demand for this. I mean, there's no demand for iron ore at the moment, generally speaking. All the steel mills in China are closing down as quickly as the property market's closing down, and their high-speed rail is closing down, and banks are closing down, and so on and so on. But that said, copper is what we call, well, the new green mining products, you know, the lithiums and the vanadiums and all of these. So yeah, I mean, I think there's 8 ton of green metals in those big turbines, you know, in those big wind turbines, and I think 4 ton of that is copper. So yeah, it's kind of got a bit of a need for itself at the moment. Yeah, I'll just give this a little bit of time as well, but we'll get it. Okay, so over to the energy sector. So with the energy sector, these stocks here, and ExxonMobil is one of the biggies in here, so we're going to have a look at that as well on the intraday. So this will be part of, well, basically what we've been looking for here, as you know, is we've got wave 1 up here, and we're looking back for wave 2 over here. Now we know that the gas market, we could put wave 2 in here, and you know we're chuffing off quite nicely. That's good for gas, and we'll look at that in a moment. But this one, I've been looking at it because it don't have a very nice 5-wave structure here. It's more like it's 3 waves. You could probably force 5 waves out of it, but an A wave, a B wave, and then we were looking up for a C wave here. Okay, so as I kept on saying, I want this to finish here. And is it long enough to be a 3rd wave, like 1, 2, 3? We've still got to go a little bit higher here, but not much. So I'll just leave that. So we could come to this point up here and terminate and come down. That's always been my fear. If we get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here, then we can call it wave 1. We'll have ABC back, and then we can go long at this point. We'll be back here anyway, you know, or thereabouts, and we can go long from that point. So we've got that 5-wave structure there. So this is sort of haunting me. So the main character in here is Exxon here. So we're going to look at that. So with Exxon here, this is 100 ticks. So off the low here, we can look at wave A and B, and then we've been looking up for wave C. So I've had 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4, and then going up for 5. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Not a very good structure at this point, I have to admit. But this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So one more move up here, and then that will be the end of it. I could see that I could stretch this. I can certainly stretch this out into more of an impulse wave, but I want to be conservative with it. I want to have a roughly an equal length between these two here as A and C, and a few of those sorts of things. So we'll just see how it finishes off. You know, we're watching it. We're here last time we spoke, I think, or something in here, and anyway, it's chuffed off quite nicely. So this is sort of a critical area here for those energy stocks, and where does that leave crude oil at this point? So obviously there's game-changing events in this market, of course. You know, all the big players are sort of shuffling around, and I'm talking Iran, and you know they've all of these sorts of things. So beyond my scope of not interest, but time to view these things. But we've got this A wave, B wave, and C wave down here, and we can certainly have a low in here. So what I wanted to see here, and pretty much wanted to see on the XLE and ExxonMobil, is a 5-wave structure to the upside. So we've got this first 5 waves here, a little bit doggedy, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an ABC here. But I don't know if we need to label that wave 1 and wave 2 here, or we should label it wave A and B, and then going up for a C wave. So that will have a little bit more to go up into 9.5 here. So we could probably look for a classic trading levels pattern on the 9.5 and maybe go for a move there. But I want that to finish first. This is wave 1 here and 2 here. I'll just need to pull. It looks like just need to have a closer look at that. That's definitely 1 here. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 2 legs to go. We've got 2 legs here to finish off. So I won't worry about this today too much, but it'll be something like this. Maybe even one more. That will just give me the 3rd wave at that point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no, that will be it. So, okay, so that's it. So we've got 2 more little tops to play out, and then we can look to be long at that point. I mean, I should have had you long above here, because this is a classic trading levels pattern here. So we had the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then the A, the B, and the C, and then you can go long above that. And maybe you've done that. Maybe I talked about that. Maybe I didn't talk about it, but I know myself, and if I saw that, I would have pointed it out. And so anyway, I can't remember if I did or not. So yeah, so you know, it's a good chance that crude's got a low in here. But yeah, just there's still, you know, I mean, yeah, anyway, we'll see. Okay, so natural gas. So this is a daily chart for natural gas, and as you know, we've counted up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've got it as an A wave. I used to have it as wave 1, but having it as wave 1 just takes it pretty seriously high. So let's just work with this for a moment. There's a couple of things here that I wanted to work with. So we were counting 5 waves to the 10,000, right? So we've got that now. We'll have a look at that, right? It's not a biggie. So, but the thing is, we could look at this B wave, probably not the case, but over here, and then look at this as the A wave here, then an A, B, C for the B wave here, and then come down and just nip out the bottom here for the B wave here, and then go up for the C wave. It could be possible, you know. But obviously the trend is kind of established a bit, but otherwise we need to treat it as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then wave 1 here and 2 here. And if that's the case, then this leg here is going to move off pretty damn quickly, you know. There will also be another series of 1s and 2s in here as well. We'll be able to pick 4 or 5 of them in here. So it'll be a bit like so this one here is 1 and 2 here, so then we've got 1 and 2 here. So this just in here, that's where we'll be wanting to catch that nice run, you know, because this is 1 and 2 here, and this will be 1 and 2, so it'll give us that nice run in there. Anyway, we're going to look at that intraday-ish. So yeah, so there'll be a series of 1s and 2s, and it's not that easy to trade either, by the way, to get through those 1s and 2s, because the problems with 1s and 2s is that the 2s can pull back anywhere from, you know, 40% to 80%. You know, we always go for the 50 and the 60% and so on, you know. So to hold through that's a little bit tricky, you know. So perhaps look at not futures contracts, but ETFs or something like that for that. I'll try and remember to bring that up, and we'll work with that. Rightio, so I think we're at 5k or 2k in here. Let's go in and have a look. That's the corrective count on this one. This is what we were talking about before, you know. So that's that top there. That could be, I'm not saying it is, but if it was, that would be it at that point, because we've looked at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and we've got 5 waves in the last wave. So that's a possibility. So we'll just keep an eye on it, just keep it in the background. Things like this just make us a little bit more cautious about how we go in long to the upside, you know. So anyway, we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, and then we're counting up here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Bit of an overlap there for the overlap folks. I'm a bit old and crusty and philosophical about things like this, so I always just go for the best fit at the end of the day, you know, without chucking a fit. So I think last time we spoke we were in here somewhere, weren't we? So we had 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've also got overlap in here as well. But that could have been in the off hours, you know, and the volume's really low. And when Elliott, you know, noticed this particular pattern in the market, it wasn't based on leverage, highly leveraged contracts, you know. So that's where we are. So we can either have it as a wave B up here and we come all the way down, or we can have it as wave 1 and we'll be looking for wave 2, which will be, we need to start somewhere. So we'll just plonk that in there. We just do it this way. And then we also want some A, B and C wave here for this. Now, like I said, it doesn't have to pull all the way back. It could be that we've got this as an A and a B and a C here, and we're done and dusted, and we're going to zoom up, you know, because we're in the third of the third. If I put this wave 2 over here, we're in the third of the third, so it doesn't need to pull back very far, and there's great support at this level here. So I don't know that yet. I haven't looked inside of this, so let's just go in and see what we can see out of this little move here so far. So let's just get in a bit more data. So that's the top there. That's where we can take it from, and that will give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here, I mean, you got like 1 and 2 here, and the third wave, I mean the fourth wave here. I mean, can you do that any other? Oh, maybe you could use that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nah. Yeah. So anyway, that's another story. So what's this little move here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 could be corrective. A third's a bit short. That looks a bit impulsive to the downside. I'm just trying to see if we've got a clear ABC pattern here. I can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we could look at this as the A wave. We could look at that as the B wave. And then we could look at this as 1, 2, 3, some sort of wave 4 here. That I'm not sure how that's finishing off. And down for wave 5. So that would give us 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That would give us an A wave, a B wave, and 5 waves for the C wave here, and then we could go up from that point. Is that the case? It just looks a bit small for what we're looking at. So I think we'll just give it a session or two, and we'll just try to, because if you go too early on things, that's when you make mistakes, you know. And plus she doesn't like that anyway. So let's just chill and let this unfold in its own time, and we'll pick those pieces up when necessary. So yeah, I think that's it. So alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.